Uganda goes to the polls today to elect the president of the country. The incumbent Yoweri Museveni has been in power for 35 years and is being challenged by pop star turned politician Bobi Wine. Joining us to discuss the dynamics of these elections is Wall Street Journal correspondent in Kampala, Nicholas Bariyo. Nicholas, welcome to the CRA channel. Could you provide our viewers with an overview of the situation on the ground there and what's at stake in these elections?
So we have President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power since 1986. This is his sixth attempt to contest for the presidency. And in the previous 5 attempts, he has always won with a landslide. He's 76 years. He has been in power for 34 years. He has had that experience. And for the first time, he's facing some new opposition because previously he has been contesting with veteran opposition leaders. On the first 4 occasions, he contested with one serious contender who was Kizza Besigye. This time around, it is Bobi Wine, whose real name is Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu. He's a musician, but who like 3-4 years ago joined politics, and his age, his music, his celebrity appeal appears to really have struck a good chord with the young voters. So for the first time, we are seeing a contest in which the president, who is a veteran of politics for the first time, is facing new opposition.
Nicholas, we've seen opposition leaders, including Bobi Wine, being arrested, harassed, intimidated, and many reports of violence coming out of Uganda. What are the chances of these elections being free, fair, and credible?
One of the major irregularities is the fact that the government has used restrictions that had been put in place to curtail the spread of coronavirus to stop campaigning, especially in major opposition strongholds. So you have around 10 districts which have been declared a no-go area for opposition politicians, but the incumbent is allowed to move around freely, launch projects, reach the electorate. And other than those restrictions, the police has basically been closing on. Every time you've seen major opposition leaders, in this case, Bobi Wine, every time he tries to address a rally, you see police following him and arresting him, tear gassing his supporters. And the idea, the reasons they give is that he's flouting guidelines that had been put in place to ban public gatherings and basically guidelines that have been meant to stop the spread of coronavirus were being used to curtail political activities. So that's one major thing. And then you'll get security forces giving preferential treatment to ruling party candidates. You get the media, television, these other national major newspapers, all the attention and all the coverage has been skewed in favor of the incumbent and against the opposition.
Nicholas, what are the chances of President Museveni losing these elections? And if he does lose, will he hand over power peacefully?
So you have a large chunk of the voters are young. Actually, 30% of the 18 million voters are young. And most of these people are supporters of, identify themselves with the opposition. But still from the polls, from everything, it does look like the president still has an upper hand because he controls the media, he controls major state institutions, he has the support of the state machinery, the security forces are in his favor, he has rolled out tanks and armored vehicles on the streets, and so I would say the chances are really slim going to be losing this. That said, you have boards that have been moving towards the opposition. And previously, when you say, for instance, talk 10 years ago, is not as popular as he is. So I would say he has the chance to win, but his margins are much slimmer compared to how he fared 10, 15 years ago.
So, Nicholas, in terms of the regional dynamics, if there were to be continued violent clashes or a dispute over the election, could there be any ramifications for the region as a whole? Uganda is in a critical Great Lakes region, which is rather unstable at the best of times. Are there any broader regional geopolitical risks here?
Yes, you have Uganda with troops in Somalia fighting against Al-Shabaab. You have Uganda, it intervened in the South Sudan conflict. You have Uganda with a lot of interest in Eastern Congo. Right now, a few months ago, there was this deal that they signed with the Congolese government to build a major road connecting Western Uganda to Eastern Congo. So all this means that the clout of Uganda is a bit wide in the region. So any instability, any problem in Kampala would reverberate around the region because it does play a significant role given that footprint in Somalia and South Sudan and Eastern Congo. And then Museveni is still the longest serving leader. We've seen a few weeks ago, he was called upon to try and see whether he can intervene in Ethiopia. He's a bit influential. So I think anything that unsettles Kampala would really be a problem for the entire region, given his experience, his military clout, and the role his military has played over the years in regional conflicts.
Okay, Nicholas. Well, there seem to be a lot of domestic and regional factors at play. That's it from me, David Ansara. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and also check out the link in the description below to our 30-day free trial. Until next time, take care.